Up in the ring, Boyd Pierce, and he has a title match to introduce to you.
This event for the U.S. American Heavyweight Championship, 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour time limit. 230 pounds, the challenger from Buffalo, New York, Mark Lewin. Across the ring, Playboy Gary Hart presents from Houston, Texas, American Heavyweight Champion Gino Hernandez. Your referee, Bronco Lewin.
Gorgeous Gino Hernandez, if you will, but risking his U.S. American heavyweight title belt against Maniac Mark Lewin. We still call him Maniac. We could call him everybody's favorite Maniac. Lewin has had a period of wrestling here in Texas when he was managed by the man who was advancing toward him, Gary Hart. They broke apart, and Lewin has been trying to get thoroughly even with Gary Hart and Gorgeous Gino ever since. The bell sounds in the midst of the clatter that's going on, and Gino thinks that if he keeps after Lewin and maneuvers him down through that concrete, he'll have an easier time in this match. But as Gino comes back, it's to test the rigidity of that ring post. And up the aisle goes Maniac Mark Lewin as the fans pat him on the back and the fans give him advice and send him back toward the ring with the thought that he can destroy. Well, you can see that Gary Hart here, who took one on the back of the neck from Maniac Mark Lewin, is not missing an opportunity to get in there and make his presence felt. So between Gino and Hart, they have Lewin on the floor and the fans screaming for Lewin because they know that Lewin is capable of recovering, and if he recovers, he is capable of clobbering both Gino and his manager. And this, of course, is the opening of this match. Lewin hasn't had an opportunity to do anything. The referee is trying to control Gino up in the ring, and somebody needs to control Hart on the outside. So sprawled all over the cold Coliseum concrete is everybody's favorite Maniac, Mark Lewin. Man who maintains tremendous physical condition, who has shown an amazing ability to absorb punishment, and has shown a tremendous tendency to dish it out like this as he hands Gary Hart a driving head-first lob into that ring post. And now we've got Lewin in his element. Oh, when he delivers those chops, he has an arm like a 2x4. And everything busts loose here as Maniac Mark Lewin is on top, and he takes a fall. The first fall in this battle. Listen to the uproar, tremendous uproar. As Maniac Mark Lewin turns handsprings after laying Gary Hart. Look at Hart. Let's get the camera. Hart and Lewin are commiserating with each other tenderly on the canvas. But we can tell you this, that Lewin is one fall ahead in this match for the U.S. American title. And both Hart and Hernandez have had their best shots at Mark Lewin, and there is question whether Gino is going to be able to get up. So I was going to say we'll be back here in a moment. We'll still be back here in just a moment. No, we better stay after we have this word from the studio. Well, magic of videotape, and we spring right back here at the same point of action with which we left, and Mark Lewin is able to literally make an effort to chop the head off of Gino Hernandez. 30 seconds remain in this intermission period between the first and second fall of this match. "15 seconds. Now the countdown, but you can see that the action. Now Gary Hart is in the ring illegally, but he's been in and out of the ring illegally so many times in his career that he has now distracted Lewin long enough that Gino was able to do something about it. So we've got trouble now for Lewin as the pendulum swings, and Hart has given him an opening that he didn't expect to get. Gino Hernandez, something, maybe the string from his tights that he has used in there, and it's Gary Hart who is adding the pressure to what Gino has started. I think he's using the necktie of Gary Hart, if I am not mistaken. Yes. So here we've got Mark Lewin, who has one fall ahead, absorbing the kicks and the outrageous slings of fortune that are coming his way. A few arrows too, but with Lewin caught in the pressure cooker between both of them, no matter which way he turns, he ran into punishment. Suddenly we find Gino Hernandez able to drive him into the ring post. Now Lewin was going great guns between falls. He has not been able to do anything during the time that the bell has sounded, except to absorb punishment. We mentioned earlier in the match that few people have the capacity to explode after things happen that Mark Lewin exhibits in every one of his matches. He's a tough cookie. And now as he advances toward Gino, he is likely to give Gino a lesson in recovery. Caught that one in the eye. That's hard to recover from. And Gino will find that out right now. Lewin with a diving two-handed blow that time. Here he is again, same blow into the throat. He's got his hands faced so that he is able to give him plenty of punishment and give both of them plenty of punishment. Well, Hart is the guy who started it. And that sign you see being held up says everybody's favorite maniac is Mark Lewin. And Lewin right now is trying to make maniacs out of both Gary Hart and Gino Hernandez. And with the encouragement of fans all over this building. Outside, that's Lewin. He has caught it. Lewin back in that ring. He's got a better chance there where he stays in the middle of the ring. He can face only one man at a time. Outside, Gary Hart looks like something left over from the most recent hurricane. The grip is on the trapezius muscles. The crowd encouraging Lewin by giving his favorite barking sound. That's a mark of endearment to him now. And you can see that Gary Hart is keeping Gino's foot from slipping. And Lewin, as he gets into the defensive position here, is trying to crawl from between Gino's legs in order to get where he can defend himself solidly. Gino leaning in there with the pressure of his hands and the pressure of his weight, bending down on those muscles, trying to get in for pressure on the carotid artery if possible. Not as easy from that position as it is from some others. Muscular man, Lewin. Solid, hard work. Now, as he raises those hands, he is trying to muscle his way out of it. That's exactly what he's doing. He is trying to call on those muscles, and Gary Hart was, well, he rolled in that ring that time to distract the referee and maneuvered out of the way. There is again the same hold as he pours the pressure down on him. It's Gino Hernandez grip.
May we warn you not to throw anything inside the Coliseum. You will be arrested.
Lewin's in trouble now.
So don't throw anything inside the Coliseum.
Lewin now trying to rise up there where he can do something about it. He tried it just a few moments ago, and there is something he can do about it. And big man to be throwing a drop kick that way. Oh, and a big man misses it. The effect is twice as tough. Now listen to those fans. You can hear that sound, that strange sound. But this is Lewin's sound. This is the sound they associate with him and his toughness. Gino Hernandez bending in there. His U.S. American title is at stake, and he is a fall behind. He's got those thumbs working into the solid area behind the neck. And Gary Hart, as he crosses near us in his walk around the ring, screams, "Lay it on, Boy Wonder." Well, the Boy Wonder right now is literally ruling. Ride 'em Cowboy would have been a better expression, because he is in a position right now that might endanger him. And there goes Gino Hernandez, thrown into his manager, and he is liable to be thrown into him piece by piece. Mark Lewin now trying to set Gino up. He set him up, but you don't set a man up that way. He caught him with those knees right smack in the face. That's the way to stun him. And here, down with the elbow on the head. Gino's on top. There's one, there's two. There is three. And the equalizing fall goes to
7 minutes
Gorgeous Gino.
Winner of the second fall, American champion Gino Hernandez.
So Gorgeous Gino does it. He equalizes falls. That means there is one more fall to go. We'll have that fall for you right after we have this word from the studio. Well, Branko Lubic has been distracted first by one and then by the other of Gino and Hart. And that has led to a couple of kicks in the head just like that for Maniac Mark Lewin. And there again, Hart trying it, and Branko Lubic had enough of it and let it fly. So Hart has caught one in the jaw, and time now is starting to run out in this intermission period. We haven't had one all night. There's been action going on every time with the bell ready to ring. Less than 30 seconds to go as Gino now tries to make certain that Lewin stays down, and Lewin gets up in time to start belting. The bell is not yet rung. There it is. And Lewin gets up, riled and ready. Hair standing on end, but he's trying to knock the block off of gorgeous Gino Hernandez. Gary Hart is the epitome of a man who has been battered, as you see him on that rope. And Gino slammed into that turnbuckle. Hart is on the apron. There you see him on the apron, and much the worse for wear. And maniac Mark Lewin just planted his foot in there, and he is trying to take care of both men at the same time. Could be a mistake, because if he turns his back on Gino, he is liable to suffer from it. Now he's at his best. Lewin pounding away at gorgeous Gino, pounding, and that's the best word that you can use for it, because he's not delivering a blow. He's coming down. He's got the sleep hold, the hold he calls the Shanghai Sleeper, a hold that has proven to be effective in many, many battles for Mark Lewin. Here comes Mark Lewin, but he's going after Gary Hart. Lewin went out of the ring on his own to get even with Hart, who came in there to break that Shanghai Sleeper, and succeeded. Here is Lewin trying to mess up Hart, and he's got him against the iron pot of the turnbuckle. He is pounding away, and not only that, but he is trying to open a cut on him, trying to bust his eye open. He's got look, listen to those fans. The bell has sounded, and this match has ended. The referee counted Mark Lewin outside. He is counted outside the ring, and Lewin's desire to get even with Hart has cost him this match. But we've got Gino Hernandez now armed with a chair and standing guard over his manager. Outside, maniac Mark Lewin, and Lewin outside with a hammer in his hand, and Hernandez inside with a chair in his, and Gary Hart looks to be at the end of his rope. At the end of his rope, as Lewin gets up on the ring apron and wants at Hernandez. Hernandez with a chair wants at Lewin, and we've got a wild making of a free-for-all here, as Gary Hart and gorgeous Gino Hernandez, who are still the U.S. American Heavyweight Champions.